Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over some subscribers' teams and give them some team advice. So I'm changing the format a little bit. I've been doing 2 teams at a time. However, we have a little bit of a backlog, as well as more and more people want their teams reviewed, so I'm going to bump it up to 3 teams per video for right now. We could possibly see 4 teams in upcoming videos, possibly even 5 if there's that much of a queue and that much of a backlog to have that many teams in one video. But for right now, we're going to go with 3 teams in a video. And this time we're going with RANGERS4848, Blanc, and CHARDAF10. As always, we'll do a quick overview of their teams, and then we'll put them side by side to kind of give what their original team was and what my team advice is. Let's get into it. We're going to go over RANGERS4848's team first. On the first line, he has Guy Lafleur and Mario Lemieux, bronze icons, for his left wing and center. Then on the right wing, he has Team of the Week, 87 overall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. For his first defensive pair, he has the Team of the Week, 87 overall, Brett Burns. Then he has the 87 Serge Savard. I'm assuming it's part of the Bold series, but he's definitely a Hut alumni. Second line is going to be Scheifele, 86. Tavares, franchise great from the Oshawa Generals. Then he has a Team of the Week, 86 overall, Jakub Voracek. 85 Hut primetime Aaron Ekblad, and the fantasy hockey Philip Broberg is his second defensive pair. Third line forwards, Team of the Week, 87 overall Corey Perry, then is Dennis Savard, past meets present, litter grip Matt Duchene, 84 overall. His last defensive pair is going to be Victor Hedman and Chris Letang, base cards. Fourth liners are going to be Tyler Seguin's base card, Sidney Crosby's base card, 87 overall, then the 85 overall Taylor Hall base card. He has Vasilevsky and then Thomas Stroh. His coach is going to be Brian Fiddler, 3 distributor, which is going to put him at Howitzer, Speedster for his player synergies, and then distributor for his team synergy. So let's see what we can do to improve this team some. So with Rangers' team, with him being on more of a budget team, as well as the fact that it would take a huge rework to get Spark or Swarm completed, being they had no points in any team synergy except for distributor, we wanted to get him some better players as well as solidify some of his player synergies a little bit. On the first line, we're going to have Lafleur, Lemieux. We're going to bring in this Team of the Week, Jonathan Huberdeau, that has Workhorse, because we're going to bring in Workhorse for this team build to give him some flexibility and acceleration on some of these cards. Looking at the Huberdeau, if you have Workhorse and Distributor, is 89 acceleration, 90 speed. Pretty decent shot. Overall, a decent numbers. He's obviously, I think he's a left wing now. He came in the league as a centerman, but he only has 70 face-offs, so definitely has to play in the wing. First defensive pair, we're going to keep the Brett Burns. We're going to bring in this primetime Darnell Nurse. The Darnell Nurse is a little bit hard to find, but he has Speedster and Workhorse, and at 6'4", I think he's one of the best budget cards in the game, especially with a distributor as well. He gets up to 87 acceleration, 92 speed, has good defensive awareness and stick checking for somebody that's a big body. So your first defensive pair here is going to be 2 big players at 6'5" and 6'4". The second line, we're going to do quite a change here by having Carter Camper. He just came out in this Team of the Week, 86 overall. I mentioned how he's probably a really good budget card. He has good attributes, somebody to look into. Then I would build this Sean Couturier at least up to the 86. If you want to build him higher, you can build him higher. Once you get into like 87, plus he starts to get spark as well. Then this Jakub Voracek. We wanted to kind of build a team a little bit around this card because we wanted to activate Workhorse because this makes him a 10 times better card in my opinion. Gets up to 89 acceleration, 93 speed with the Speedster and Distributor activated. Really good wrist shot power at 95. Overall, I think he's another great budget card that you already had on your team. For the second defensive pair, we're going to get rid of this Aaron Ekblad, bring in Justin Schultz, primetime 86, as well as keep the Philip Broberg over here on the second defensive pair. Third liners, we'll keep Perry. We'll bring Crosby up to the third line. And then you have Matt Duchene. We're just going to swap him up for a 1 higher overall. He does lose a little bit of speed, not having Speedster, but I think the acceleration makes this card just a little bit better, as well as the +1 on all of his attributes. I think they're actually about the same price because more people value Speedster over Workhorse. This Team of the Week might actually even be cheaper than this Litter Grit Duchene. For the third defensive pair, we're going to trade out Chris Letang for Dougie Hamilton. We need a Dougie Hamilton for the distributor. We'll keep the Victor Hedman, who's actually an untradeable card, so I'll mark him as untradeable. Then on the fourth line, we're going to take John Tavares that you had on the second line, move him all the way down to the fourth line. I'm personally not a huge fan of this John Tavares. He's a pretty slow skater, but you seem to like him being he's on your second line, so we'll keep him on the team, put him on the fourth line with the very fast Matthew Barzal that has a Distributor 85 Team of the Week card, as well as taking that Nugent Hopkins that was on the first line and put him down here with Tavares, because you want to surround him with some speed, because Tavares is a slower skater, as you can see, at 85 speed, 82 acceleration. For the goaltenders, we can keep them the exact same, Vasilevsky and Stroh. Fiddler will stay your coach for the 3 Distributor. What this is going to do is you're pretty much going to keep Distributor, you're going to add Workhorse, cut down on Howitzer a little bit. You don't need 9 out of 6. We give you 7 out of 6, so it still gives you some flexibility, as well as we keep the Speedster 4 out of 4. What I will say is I continue to work on this Sean Couturier long term. I would save up Hut Icons for Lafleur and Lemieux. My advice for any budget player, if you play the game a decent amount, is I would take your gold players, turn them into Icon collectibles, and then take those Icon collectibles and do the 85, 86, 87, and 88 overall trade-ins, and hopefully you get some good cards out of the 4 cards that you get to pick from. I have videos out that determines which are the best ones of those cards. But if you can get some of the good 87s, some of the good 86s, you can easily make your team a lot better long-term, and then you can switch them into the silver icons from the bronze icons. That's the best way to build a budget team or a free-to-play team, is really working the icons, because they're the ones with the best synergies. Let me know in the comments what you think about your team. If you want to talk about it a little bit more, you can also direct message me on the Discord, and we can have a discussion about maybe some other players that we could put in here, there, or any other advice that you need. The next team up we have is Blanc's team, and as you'll see on his first line, he has Lafleur, Couturier, and Ruby Hintz. Very good first line. This Ruby Hintz is one of the most underrated cards. I had him on my first line right wing for a very long time. I just got rid of him today because I want to build some other bronze icons into silver icons. I need the coins that he goes for. Then he has Makar, fantasy hockey card at 91 overall, and the Victor Hedman Team of the Year for his first defensive pair. Second liners are Besser, 89 overall, the Mario Lemieux past meets present, Nikita Kucherev's Team of the Week, 90 overall. Then he has 88 overall, Shea Weber Team of the Week with Zach Werenski on the second defensive pair. For the third line, he has this Zach Cassian, the Beast from the Halloween cards, Master Set Player 89, then 90 overall, Team of the Week Ryan O'Reilly, Joe Sakic 87 bronze icon, and Naki Barragano 85 overall fantasy hockey card, and the 86 overall Mark Howe from past meets present, last defensive pair. For the fourth line, he has Joe Mullins bold card, Guy Carbonneau silver icon, Sidney Crosby's franchise grade for the Pittsburgh Penguins 89 overall, 2 Sparks for Synergy. Then he has Braden Holtby Team of the Week 87, and RVO Home as his backup goaltender, silver player that plays in the Swedish Hockey League. Then Brian Fiddler for his coach. The synergies he has activated is Howitzer, Speedster, Wingman, Shutdown for player synergies, and then team synergies are Spark and Distributor. Let's look at some of the improvements we can make for this team. Blanc had a pretty good team, and a lot of his better cards were untradeable, so we just made some subtle improvements that allow him for some upward mobility long term. So on the first line, it's going to stay the exact same. Lafleur, Couturier, Hintz, Makar, Hedman. No reason to switch it. All 5 of these guys are studs. The second line is going to be the exact same. Besser, Lemieux, except on the right wing here, we're going to sell Nikita Kucherov, and we're going to bring in Jean Beliveau, and then we're going to have Weber and Werenski make out that second defensive pair. The reason we're bringing this Beliveau is because they're going to eventually have 88 to 93 overall upgrades from bronze to silver icons, and I think this Beliveau will be able to bump up to 2 Spark, and he'll be one of the best cards at 93 overall. I know before I kind of told some people to sell Beliveau here or there, maybe a month or so ago, because his price was really high for what you're getting out of him, and I knew that his upgrade was going to take a while. Well, the price has since dropped on this Beliveau, and I think the time is now to buy this Beliveau, especially with that Tavares that came out today, because a lot of people are selling cards like crazy to try to pull that Tavares or buy that Tavares that I think is a little bit overrated, but that's for a whole different video where I do the review of that. That will be out tomorrow morning. But we're looking at this right now. He has 90 speed, 91 acceleration, good shot. This all gets upgraded by +5 when he gets a silver icon card. The speed will be a +3 upgrade, but you're talking about a guy that's going to be 93 speed, 94 acceleration at 6'3", 205 pounds. And he has Spark is a clutch synergy whenever you can get 2 Spark on a guy. It gives you some upward mobility here. Then on the third line, we bring in this Kirby Doc. Claude Giroux, you said you had an untradeable version of him, 89 overall. Let's get him in the lineup. I think he's a sneaky good center, has great faceoffs. We'll keep Joe Sakic on the third right wing. When you're comparing this Claude Giroux to this Ryan O'Reilly, I mean, you can just see 92 speed, 96 acceleration compared to 91 acceleration, 87 speed. The shot is a little bit leaning towards, I would say, O'Reilly just slightly, but I think the Claude Giroux the accuracy is big here. He has better hands than O'Reilly does. The only thing O'Reilly really has over him is this checking category here and a little bit better body checking. I mean, he's a higher overall card, but O'Reilly's he's just slow at 87, and you can sell him and get coins out of him. This Claude Giroux isn't untradeable, so let's try to keep him in the lineup for right now. We'll take him out when the time is needed. Then we're going to take out the Sanaki Barragano and bring in Jeff Petrie. I'm going to assume a little bit that you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. I figured you'd like to bring in another Canadian here. Let's bring in this primetime Jeff Petrie. You should be able to get Petrie and Beliveau for selling off this Kucherov. And then with the Cassian here, you can trade him in for the gold collectibles like you were talking about, maybe building one of the blockbuster cards. If you're going to build one of them, I would build Phil Kessel. I think he's the best one. Personally, that's just my honest opinion. I know I still have to come out with a review for the Master Set players. That video will probably be out Sunday. I'm trying to catch up on these team reviews, and I don't think that video is as important as some of these team reviews for you guys are, especially since we're a little backlogged. On the fourth line, we're going to keep it the exact same. I do think that Sidney Crosby needs moved at some point. I just didn't want to go spark in the Doc and Crosby's positions when you already have Crosby, because Crosby's a heck of a card. So I didn't want to just like get rid of him to get rid of him. But I do think you have a lot of coins just sitting in this Crosby that you can use to upgrade your team a little bit here or there. If you want to try to move some other pieces around, we can talk about it in private and direct messages. As for the Holtby, we're going to bring in this Hurdy right here for home. In order to bring in Hurdy, is he has the same synergies, but I want you to probably work on Swarm next. So I just wanted to put that little Easter egg, kind of that little bit of knowledge into that, hey, the next synergy we want to go for here is Swarm when you start to build up this team a little bit. Lafleur's eventually going to have 2 Swarm. And then whenever you get the Beliveau upgraded and the Lemieux with the upward mobility or Sakic, it'll allow some flexibility to bring in some Swarm guys for some of these other players that have, as well as you can even maybe switch your coach to a Swarm coach if you get 3 more distributor from upgrading guys. But for right now, we have Brian Fiddler as the coach. What this does team-wise is it really doesn't switch anything between player synergies and team synergies. You still have Howitzer, Speedster, Wingman, and Shutdown, and then you have Distributor and Spark. All you do is upgrade some of the positions and allow you to free up this Cassian to build that Phil Kessel, or maybe you don't want to go for any of the Master Set players this time and you want to save those gold collectibles and go for a Master Set player that comes out, not obviously today, but the following Friday. It just gives you some more flexibility to be able to get rid of this Zach Cassian for a Sunset set for right now, but you can keep him in the lineup until you have to get rid of him over picking up this Beliveau and just pick up Doc and put him for Kucherov if you want. I mean, honestly, it's up to you. This Kucherov is definitely a good card, but I think that you could sell him and use the coins to upgrade your defense a little bit, or even work on upgrading Makar, Besser, this Couturier. I just think that the Beliveau being lesser price and going to get about the same card that you have in the Kucherov, that then you can upgrade this Beliveau long term. I think this is the better play, especially because like I said, I'm pretty sure you're a Canadiens fan, so we're adding 2 more Canadiens to this lineup, so I'm sure you like that. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this build. As always, I mention after every team that I do, if you need some extra help, you can always direct message me. Be more than happy to help you. The last team we're going to go over in this video is Chartaff's team, and on the first line, he has Team of the Year Artemi Panarin. Then he has a Sean Couturier, 92 overall. Then 89 primetime Jonathan Huberdeau. The 86 Litter Grit Erik Karlsson. He has Ray Bourque's bronze icon card. This is an underrated card. He just doesn't have great synergy, so I don't think he's like a long-term play for most people. But he's untradeable on his team, so he kind of has to use him if he's one of his better defensemen. Then he has Guy Lafleur, Mario Lemieux bronze icons. Nikita Kucherov's 88 overall primetime card. Then he has Themo Nickel, 85 fantasy hockey card. Then on the second right defense, he has Tobias Bjornfot, NHL 2030 card. Then he has Alexander Nylander's Winter National card as one of the Christmas gifts options. Then he has Mark Messier, bronze icon, untradeable. Then he has Austin Matthews, Dynamic Duo Volume 2, 87 overall. Dougie Hamilton's Dynamic Duo Volume 2. Then Brian McCabe's Past Meets Present, rounding out the last defensive pair here. Fourth liners are Matthew Barzal, Demon of the Week 85, Litter Grit Matt Duchene, then the Connor McDavid's base card. Andre Vasilevsky and Dan Valadar are his goaltenders, and Brian Fiddler's his coach. What this gives you synergy-wise is Howitzer, Speedster, and then Distributor for his team synergy. Let's see what improvements we can make to his team. For Chardaff's team, I wanted to give him more of a long-term goal to go after. And I want to make sure that I got another team synergy activated. And we got some other player synergies activated as well. So on the first line here, we have Panarin, Couturier. That's not going to change. We're going to bring in John LeClair's 94 flashback card. This is one of those sneaky good cards. He has Spark with the Speedster. He gets with a 90 speed, 87 acceleration. Is a very hard wrist shot. Great body checking, great defensive awareness. I think he'll play really well as a power forward with the two-way forward and sniper that is Panarin and Couturier. Then we bring in this Hut Halloween John Carlson, master set player, 89 overall, with Ray Bourque on the first defensive pair. Get rid of this Erik Karlsson litter grit, and we're going to obviously sell to Jonathan Huberdeau as well. On a second line, we're going to have Guy Lafleur, Mario Lemieux, keep them the exact same. Then the Mikko Rantanen 94 flashback, we're going to bring him in as well. Kind of another power forward type of player, but he's labeled as a sniper. Gets up to 93 acceleration, 89 speed, has a very good, well-balanced shot that's in the low 90s. Has great stick checking, defensive awareness, above average body checking, deking in hands. All that good stuff to go with the Lemieux and Lafleur. Then we'll bring in Tim Horton and Mark Howe for some synergies that we really need. And this Tim Horton is part of the Bold series, and the Mark Howe is the past meets present Mark Howe. For the third line, we have Alexander Nylander and then Mark Messier. These guys are untradeable, so we're going to have to keep them on the team. We're going to bring in another right wing here. We're just swapping out the right wings. Get rid of this Austin Matthews, bring in this Gustav Nyquist. That is an underrated player. 95 acceleration, 91 speed. He's only 87 overall, but he's very fast. Has an 88 across the board shot, except for the wrist shot accuracy. He can get up to 92, but it also starts out at 89. His defensive awareness and stick checking hurts this card a little bit, but he's playing with Mark Messier and Nylander that'll make up for that. Good hands. The body checking's not the best, but hey, I think this is one of those cards that goes under the radar a little bit. Good price for what you're getting out of him. Then on the third defensive pair, we'll keep Dougie Hamilton, bring down to Sabine Bjornfot, and that's your third defensive pair. We're going to sell Brian McCabe and Nickel, get rid of those guys. So we're just bringing in, I guess, 3 new defensemen right here with the Carlson, Horton, and Howe, and just moving Bjornfot down to the third defensive pair with Hamilton. The fourth liners are going to be Peugeot, Hurdle, and Schutt. And this is, I know, a big change right here. You're switching out your whole fourth line, getting rid of this Barzell, Duchesne, and McDavid. I would sell these guys, bring these in. I think all 3 of these guys bring their own unique kind of flavor to the line. This Peugeot is fast, has good stick checking, above average shot. Then you have Hurdle, who is kind of like more of the gritty guy, but still relatively fast. A little bit better body checking. The faceoffs at 81 is maybe a little bit of a problem. You could switch him and Peugeot because Peugeot has a better faceoff at 85. But I think you can get away with Hurdle on the fourth line at 81 faceoffs. And Steve Schutt is actually an underrated card in my opinion. 88 acceleration, 91 agility, 89 speed with his synergies. Then he does have 93 across the board for a shot with 91 slap shot accuracy. Great body checker, great stick checking, defense awareness, and good hands. I think he meshes well with the Hurdle and Peugeot. Your goaltenders are going to be Vasilevsky. You're going to have to pick up this Anton Khudobin to get 2 Spark to keep the Spark and distributor. This Dan Valadar is going to have to go. We'll keep Brian Fiddler as your coach. So it's kind of a big change. Like I said, it's something to build towards. It just gives you an idea of some guys to pick up to maybe make your team a little bit better. And at the end here, what happens is you have Howitzer, Speedster, Light the Lamp, and Workhorse, as well as Distributor and Spark. So we add a team synergy. I think the big thing that it does for this team is it upgrades Ray Bourque a little bit, who's an untradeable card that doesn't have the best team synergy, but has a good player synergy with Workhorse. We get him with his acceleration at 92, the 88 speed. The rest of his attributes are definitely above average to good. I mean, he's a good defenseman. I had him on my team for a while. He was the first Hut icon I packed this year in actually pre-order packs. I got him, and he was on my team for probably 150 games before I started to really work on synergies. And even without Workhorse and only distributor as the only team synergy I had at the time, he was a very good defenseman for me. And I think getting him that Workhorse just makes him even better. I think this is the way to go with your team. It builds towards the future, gives you some ideas of guys to go after, and it gives you the synergies that just makes your team overall better. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this team upgrade. Of course, you can always message me in private like anybody else. That's going to wrap up the team reviews and advice for the 3 subscribers, RANGERS4848, Blanc, and CHARDAF10. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about their teams and their team advice. As I already mentioned, you guys see any deficiencies in their teams that maybe I overlooked that you think, hey, maybe this player would fit better, let them know. We're trying to build a community to help each other out. Also, how do you guys like this 3-team format instead of the 2-team format? I know it's an extra team. I might do it where I just do the team side by side and kind of go over the changes. Especially if we go up to 4 teams, we'll probably have to do that rather than the team overviews before we do the side by sides. Let me know what you guys think. Always looking for some feedback when it comes to the format of these videos, because I want to try to get in as many people as I can to help you guys out as much as I can within the community here. If you want to have your team reviewed by me, it's 3 easy steps. First off, subscribe. Second, join the Discord. Third, drop your link in the proper Discord channel, and I will add you to the running order queue that you'll be able to see whenever your team's about to be reviewed. In the meantime, while you're waiting for your team review, you can always direct message me and ask me any questions. There's general channels as well to talk about NHL or anything else you want to talk about within the Discord. And there's always people in there to also give advice to kind of help you out if you just have a question about a player. Like, hey, I packed this guy. Should I keep him? Should I sell him? Whether I can help you out right away, or I'm sure there'll be somebody else that'll obviously put in their 2 cents. That's what it's about with building a community. As always, I appreciate all of your guys' support. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with any of your friends that play NHL 21. And give this video a thumbs up. You guys have a great day and be safe.